Welcome to this video about right-hand guitar technique. In this video I want to talk more about three-finger scales played with P, M, and I. And I want to introduce you to two-string trills played with tremolo fingering, so P, A, M, I. Let's jump right into our first exercise about three-finger scales. And we're now actually playing the first real scale. We're playing a C major scale. The special thing about this scale is that it also has 3 notes per string, so we don't have to change up our right hand fingering. And it starts in the 3rd position, involving a couple of stretches. Let's begin with M on the 5th string and play all the way to the 1st string. And as we already learned in the last video, playing from the 1st to the 5th string, we have to start with P. And if we want to turn this into one long loop of an eternal scale, we just apply the principles that we also have to remember from the last video for playing an ascending scale and a descending scale. We don't have to do anything in the right hand in order to connect them, but when doing the opposite, so playing a descending scale and then an ascending scale, we have to insert a slur. Let's do it very slowly. And continue with a slur. Now P, M, I. Unfortunately, not every scale has 3 notes per string, so we have to prepare for a different case, which is, for example, having only 2 notes per string between 3 notes per string. The fingering for that case is we play, instead of M, I, P, only M, P. So let's play this exercise that always plays 3 notes, then 2 notes per scale, starting with M, I, P, now M, P, 3 notes again, 2. In a descending scale, we start with P, M, I, and when only playing 2 notes, we just play P and M. Same exercise with 3, 2, 1, and 2, 1. P, M. Once you feel comfortable with this, let's jump into our first use case, playing a very common scale in the classical guitar repertoire, which is an E major scale in the 4th position. We actually only play 2 notes on the 3rd string, which is the 1st finger and the 3rd finger. So let's prepare for that and start very slowly with M on the 6th string. And now M, P, and continuing. When descending, we start with P on the 1st string, M, I. Now just 2 notes, first P, then M, and continuing. And if we want to connect these, again, we don't have to do anything to connect ascending and descending, but the other way around, we add a slur between 1 and 2 and continue with the thumb. Let's play 2 rounds of this scale, speeding up a little bit more. Let's move on to 2-string trills. We're using the fingering of P, A, M, I, which you already know from tremolo, but in this case the difficulty is that we split up our fingers between 2 different strings, and so in order to get used to it and find a universal hand position that fits all of the notes we have to play, let's play very slowly on the open 1st and 2nd string, not move the hand around too much, and try to make an even sound without any unwanted accents. Starting with A on the 1st, M on the 2nd, I on the 1st, and P on the 2nd. and the feeling with the hand. Perhaps you have to adjust it a little bit. And once you feel a little bit more comfortable, we're adding a neighboring string, so we're moving the whole thing to the second and the third string. In order to get more control, we're now using the principle of planting our fingers. It's quite simple actually, once you understand what you have to do. You start with playing one finger, and at the same time as plucking with the A finger in this case, we're immediately placing the next finger, the M finger, on the third string. So I'm playing A and placing M. Same goes for M. I'm playing M and placing I, playing I and placing P. And starting from the beginning again, playing P and placing A. This exercise, make sure to play very loudly in order to really feel what's happening in the right hand. Once you feel comfortable with this, we're moving on to developing speed. So we're grouping this fingering into groups of 5, meaning we always start with a different finger. Let's start with A, and M, I, and P. Make sure you really develop speed in this one and always play towards the last note. I'm going to play it very quickly. Once you've mastered this stage, it's time to move on to the next one, which is accelerating and slowing down again without any abrupt tempo changes. It's a little bit like pulling a rubber band and releasing it again. And for this exercise, I actually like to play notes with the left hand as well, so it doesn't always sound like open strings. And then I start very slowly on the second and third string, accelerate to the maximum without actually losing control, and letting go again almost to the point of stopping. And then doing this as often as I feel like. I hope you can actually make use of these exercises and you enjoy practicing them.